The attack on immigration and citizenship took a dramatic turn today as Juan Carlos Lopez-Gomez, a 20-year-old U.S. citizen, was finally released from custody at Leon County Jail after being arrested under Florida's new immigration law despite evidence of his American citizenship being presented in court. Lopez-Gomez was detained following a Florida Highway Patrol traffic stop in which he was merely a passenger. During his initial court appearance, held via video, his mother, Sebastiana Gomez Perez, was visibly emotional, breaking down in tears as she watched her son appear on screen. A resident of Grady County, Georgia, she expressed frustration and helplessness after being denied a visit with him. "I wanted to ask, where are you taking him? He's from here," she said in Spanish. "It's painful not being able to do anything for him." Community advocate Sylvia Alba silently held up Lopez-Gomez's U.S. birth certificate in the courtroom. Judge LaShawn Riggins examined the document closely, confirming its authenticity. In looking at it and feeling it and holding it up to the light, the court can clearly see the watermark to show that this is, indeed, an authentic document, Riggins said. Despite the judge's findings, the state prosecutor argued that the court lacked jurisdiction over the case because U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, had formally requested the jail continue to hold Lopez-Gomez. As a result, Judge Riggins expressed regret but said that she was powerless to release him. ICE issued the 48-hour detainer through its Homeland Security Investigations Office in Tampa. The arrest comes amid legal controversy over Florida's immigration law SB 4C, signed by Governor Ron DeSantis in February. A federal judge, Kathleen Williams, temporarily blocked enforcement of the law on April 4th, further casting doubt upon the legitimacy of Lopez-Gomez's arrest and detention. The law makes it a misdemeanor for undocumented adults to knowingly enter Florida after previously avoiding inspection by immigration authorities, an offense Lopez-Gomez, a U.S. citizen, could not legally have committed. Meanwhile, Rümeysa Öztürk, a Turkish doctoral candidate and former Fulbright scholar, remains in detention after an immigration judge denied her bond request. Öztürk, who co-authored a campus newspaper op-ed about Gaza while studying at Tufts University, was kidnapped by plainclothed immigration and customs enforcement agents on March 25th near her Massachusetts residence. She was subsequently transferred across 3 states before being held at a detention facility in Louisiana, all without any formal criminal charges. Despite the Department of Homeland Security focusing solely on her perceived flight risk, the immigration judge also cited Öztürk as a potential danger to the community when denying her bond, according to a filing submitted by her attorneys later that day. The government's case in immigration court is reportedly based on a brief memorandum from the Department of State which revoked her visa due to her co-authorship of the op-ed. The article, according to the memo, aligned with an organization that was temporarily banned from campus. "There's no evidence beyond the op-ed itself," said Isha Bandari, an attorney with the American Civil Liberties Union representing Öztürk in her federal case. "This is constitutionally protected speech. She's committed no crime. If this stands, anyone could face consequences simply for expressing an opinion." Öztürk's legal team is urgently requesting that a federal judge in Vermont either order her immediate release or, at the very least, transfer her back to Vermont by Friday. "This detention violates her constitutional rights," Bandari stated. "We believe the judge can resolve this quickly based on the legal filings alone, but if a hearing is needed, we are ready. Her health is deteriorating in detention, and time is critical." Court filings submitted on Wednesday note that Öztürk had suffered 6 asthma attacks since her confinement, including one incident reportedly dismissed by officers as imaginary. Medical personnel allegedly failed to provide treatment during these episodes. Her situation reflects a broader trend involving individuals connected to U.S. academic institutions who have faced visa revocations or denial of entry, particularly since the Trump administration intensified scrutiny of pro-Palestinian demonstrations and expressions of support for Palestinian causes. A similar case involving Mahmoud Khalil, a Columbia University graduate student who was ordered deported by a Louisiana immigration judge after being deemed a national security threat by federal authorities. In late March, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio claimed that over 300 student visas had been revoked due to participation in pro-Palestinian protests, which the Trump regime claimed were in support of Hamas, without providing any evidence of this. Meanwhile, Jennifer Vazquez-Sura, the wife of Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a Maryland resident who was unlawfully deported to a high-security prison in El Salvador, has spoken out against attempts by the Trump regime to damage his reputation. She defended her husband, describing him as a devoted father and husband who is now being unjustly denied justice. Despite a federal judge and the U.S. Supreme Court ruling that Abrego Garcia must be returned to the United States, the Trump administration has refused to act. Officials claim that he is associated with MS-13, a gang designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Abrego Garcia has denied any gang affiliation, and his legal team points out that he has no criminal record in either the U.S. or El Salvador. Stephen Miller, a senior advisor to Donald Trump, has controversially claimed the Supreme Court's decision doesn't obligate the administration to bring Abrego Garcia back, an interpretation widely disputed by legal experts. El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, has also refused to intervene, stating he lacks the authority to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return. El Salvador has received $6 million to accept deportees into its notorious terrorism confinement center, a prison internationally condemned for human rights violations. U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi said America is safer because he's not here. Maryland is safer. His wife and child are safer now that he's out of the country.
He is not coming back to our country. President Bukele said he was not sending him back. That's the end of the story. If he wanted to send him back, we would give him a plane ride back. There was no situation ever where he was going to stay in this country. None. But he's from El Salvador, he's in El Salvador, and that's where the president plans on keeping him.
Vazquez-Sura strongly contested these statements, affirming her husband's character. Kilmar has always been a caring husband and father. I continue to stand by him and demand justice. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.